Broad Street Sports, the best Philly sports podcast.
What is up, everybody? So the Eagles just continuously rip my heart out of my chest. They continuously want to ruin my mental health. They make me go crazy every single week, every single game, every single day. It's the same thing over and over and over again with these guys. Coming into this year, we knew that Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni would either make or break this Eagles team. And so far this year, they are breaking the Eagles instead of making the Eagles. So my topic for tonight's podcast is, do you feel better or worse about Sirianni and Jalen Hurts? And right now, I stand at worse. And we're going to dive deep into both guys. But I feel a lot worse right now than I did coming into the season about Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. So starting with Nick Sirianni. I think it's time to move on from Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is clueless. Nick Sirianni has no game management. Nick Sirianni, he got so bad. He got so clueless up in the head that he's at the point now where he can't call any plays. He can't call any defensive or offensive plays. He can't even sit in on any of the offensive or defensive team meetings. Then now he's not even speaking to the team after a loss to Atlanta. So after he got his offensive play calling taken away, ever since he got his head coach job titles taken away, his main job title was to quote unquote speak to the team, be a mentor to the team, be a speaker for and to the team. And so far he has not done it. Then you come into his press conference this week, and he's saying that he's going to start making decisions to the offense again. Are we friggin' serious? This guy is going to start retaking and putting his input on to the offensive play calling, which is, don't get me wrong, been disastrous already under Kellen Moore. I mean, give me a break. Nick Sirianni is clueless. When you go versus Atlanta, and you don't kick a field goal, 4th and 4, whatever. It's second drive of the game, and it's about like a 25-yard chip shot for Jake Elliott, and Nick Sirianni elects to go for it instead of kicking the field goal. Then come to find out that field goal that Nick Sirianni did not kick ended up costing us the game. In hindsight, that ended up costing us the game. You know, so, and then it didn't end right there. That's the same game where the Eagles got about 15,000 penalties. They got about 15,000 penalties, about 5 ineligible men downfield, 3 of them from Cam Jurgens, but you don't see Nick Sirianni go over any of that. He doesn't go and confront any of his guys about any of that, right? Why would he? So then you go and you play New Orleans, which the Eagles by far should have lost. They should have gotten smoked, right? So he comes in, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. He comes in, and instead of going for a field goal early in the game to tie the game up at 3 in the first quarter, he goes for it. And interception by Jalen Hurts. What a disgrace. Then, at the end of the second quarter, at the end of the first half, and in the halftime, it's 3-0 New Orleans. The Eagles are deep in New Orleans territory. We could have kicked a chip shot to tie it going in the halftime. Nick Sirianni elects to go for it again. And the Eagles do not get it. So this is back-to-back games where, one of the games the Eagles lost, one of the main reasons we lost was because we did not kick that field goal. We kicked that field goal versus Atlanta, we win the game. So then you look at New Orleans, we didn't kick the field goal twice. But somehow, some way, we figured out how to win. Could you imagine we lost again because Nick Sirianni elects to go for it instead of kicking field goals? Here's the real kicker. You know, Nick Sirianni decides to go for it instead of kicking it from the 25 to 30, but elects to kick it from 60 yards out. I mean, does that make any sense? Does anywhere in anybody's head, does that make any sense? That we're going to kick the ball from 60-something yards out instead of 25 to 30 yards out? Nowhere in my head does any of that make any sense whatsoever. So I mean, in all seriousness, Nick Sirianni gets all of his play calling taken away from him. He has been stripped away. This guy has been withered away. His main job titles is to manage the game, call challenge plays, deal with people, flags, yell at referees, which he looks severely immature doing, by the way. And be a speaker to the team. Speak to the team. Get the guys riled up. That's his job at this point, and he doesn't even do that. I feel worse about Nick Sirianni. When you listen to the guy do press conferences, when you listen to him speak, he has no answers to any of the questions. He is clueless up there. He has no idea. He dodges so far away from the question. It's pitiful to listen to. Pitiful. He's clueless, and I know I keep saying it, but he is really lost in the sauce, guys. He is lost, and it really, really pisses me off to watch this guy, because we were all told by Kellen Moore, by Howie Roseman, by Jeffrey Lurie, by Nick Sirianni, that this Eagles team in 2024 is a lot different than the Eagles team in 2023. We're going to bring the heat. Nick Sirianni's different this year. Kellen Moore, legitimate offensive game plan. Jalen Hurts coming locked and loaded into this year. We couldn't have been lied to more. We couldn't have gotten brainwashed any more. Nick Sirianni has got to go. Nick Sirianni is done. Nick Sirianni has to be fired. I think when you look at it in a relative perspective, he is one of the main reasons why this team is so bad. And they're not bad, but they're not playing with mojo. They're not playing with confidence and swagger like they should be, and they have been at certain points other than now. So, and he is, I mean, I don't know how to explain Nick Sirianni. He is genuinely clueless out there. He just doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't deal with the team. He doesn't deal with the flags. Guys get flags left and right. He doesn't start yelling at them. He doesn't make any adjustments. You know, this team practices for 45 minutes a day with no pads and no helmets. And yup, we're ready to go play against a legitimate Saints team. Yup, we're ready to go and play against a legitimate Packers team. Yup, we're ready to go play this week against the Buccaneers, even though we haven't had a legitimate practice. He is so dumb. So dumb. And this Eagles team will not win a championship with him as the head coach. They won't do it. Switching to Jalen Hurts. He is another guy that I am feeling worse about now during the year than before the year. We, as fans, were all lied to about Jalen Hurts. We were lied to by Elliott Shore-Parks. We were lied to about Kellen Moore. We were lied to by Nick Sirianni. We were lied to by all the reporters that said that Jalen Hurts is really, really good. Jalen Hurts is back to his 2022 self. Jalen Hurts has no turnover problem. Jalen Hurts looks really, really good, not turning the ball over and being able to read the defense. That is all the things that we were lied about. Coming into this year, now in the deep into the year, we're starting to get pretty deep into the year here, because we're a couple weeks in. We're at week 4 already, folks. Week 4. Jalen Hurts, this is some of the worst football I have watched Jalen Hurts play in my life. Now, Jalen Hurts, He had some pretty bad ones last year, but nothing will compare to anything I've seen this year. He has sucked. He has sucked. Jalen Hurts, although he is fourth in total passing yards with 700 something, he has not looked like Jalen Hurts that we were told he was going to be. Obviously, he has had some good passes. That one against the Packers to Saquon Barkley in double coverage. Yeah, he had that good one to Devontae against Atlanta. So all in all, he has shown flashes of being able to pass the ball. But I'm at the point now with Jalen Hurts where his turnover rate is insane. That turnover rate cannot happen. That turnover rate is horrid. He cannot pass. He cannot do what he has to do. Jalen Hurts is almost as clueless as Nick Sirianni. Jalen Hurts has 4 turnovers so far this year. Three of them being interceptions. One of them being a fumble. And the interceptions that he has thrown have been bad judgment balls, because here's the thing. Jalen Hurts' first read isn't open. He has no idea where to throw it. So Jalen Hurts, when he gets into the line, he's ready to snap the ball. He directly looks at his receiver that he wants to throw the ball to. If they are not open, if Devontae Smith, let's say it's Devontae Smith, if Devontae Smith is not open, that ball is not getting caught. That ball, he's escaping the pocket. His first read isn't open. He's escaping, he's running, or he's throwing it in the double coverage somewhere downfield. And that all 3 of his interceptions so far, that has been the same thing. That has been, he escapes the pocket. He starts running, escaping around, trying to look. And when his first read isn't open, he's throwing the ball away. Or he's throwing it in the double coverage. 3 times. It happened against the Saints. We're in the red zone. He looks for Devontae Smith. He throws right in the double coverage. Now, everybody, and even including me, Devontae Smith could have fought a little harder for that pass. But by all means, I mean, Jalen Hurts cannot be making these stupid decisions anymore. These are stupid decisions that he is making from all angles. From all angles he is making these decisions. Throwing in the double coverage, escaping the pocket when he shouldn't, staying in the pocket when he shouldn't, not finding the open receiver. I'm starting to jump on the bandwagon. I've listened to WIP and a couple other guys say that Jalen Hurts is too small, like too short. So when he's in the pocket and he's looking around, and you have guys like Cam Jurgens and Jordan Mailata, and they're 6'7". He can't see over the guy, which I think is somewhat of an excuse. By all means, that is an excuse. But there is something seriously wrong with Jalen Hurts. As I stated before, we were all lied to by all the reporters and all the coaches for the Philadelphia Eagles. They all said that Jalen Hurts had looked really, really good. Jalen Hurts has fixed his turnover problem. Jalen Hurts is throwing a good ball. Jalen Hurts is playing really, really well. He's back to him 2022 self, if not better. We come into this year, and Jalen Hurts has a worse turnover rate. He can't read a defense still. He cannot find, if his first read isn't open, he can't find the second receiver that's open. And then he'll throw the ball in double coverage. Then when he's escaping and running around the pocket, he gets sacked and he just drops the ball. So, I mean, these are all things that we are seeing out of Jalen Hurts that were things that were told to us that were fixed, that were changed. Things that we weren't going to see from Jalen Hurts and his football team anymore. We were all lied to. All 100% lied to. And it's a disgrace that we are at this point where we're being lied to. Jalen Hurts is totally lost. Totally lost. Now, he has thrown some good passes. And as the game goes on, Jalen Hurts does get better. First half is always terrible for him. Second half, it gets a tad bit better. But we can't afford for him to play like that. We can't afford to have things like that being played. We can't do it. And we're at that point now where that is happening. It's not fun to watch. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni are supposed to make or break this team. So far, they are breaking this team. And it's really, really sad to see. Jalen Hurts has potential. I'm not high on Jalen Hurts, but he has somewhat potential. And especially the fact that I was expecting, and a lot of fans were expecting him to come in and play really, really good football, and he's not. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. And Nick Sirianni, this guy's a total bum, total moron. He needs to be fired. This team will not win with Nick Sirianni. But it is what it is, folks. As I stated before, I'm going to recap. I personally am feeling a lot worse about Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts than I was coming into the year. Hopefully they straighten it out. Hopefully they fix it. Nick Sirianni is more clueless than he has ever been. Jalen Hurts is trying to play too much hero ball at all times of the game. It is what it is. Hopefully this team can figure it out, or it's going to be a long year. But thank you all for tuning in to Broad Street Sports. My name is Ryan Knight. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.